Hey everybody, it's Lewis Bertus, your physician assistant and diabetes reversal health coach. Welcome again to Diabetes 180. This is part 2 of our series, How to Lower Insulin Use in Weeks. So we'll be having 3 parts, and I want to make sure that everybody is convinced that it can be done. You can lower your use of insulin in just weeks with diet alone. A very specific change in your diet that everyone is capable of doing. And so if you watch the first video, you know what this video is about. It's about the fat connection. The fact that by lowering the amount of fat in your diet, you can get your body's insulin so sensitive that if you're using insulin as a diabetic, you need less insulin. Some people may even come to the point where they need no insulin. And this has been proven and backed by over 100 years of research, of which I'll be sharing in these videos. Just to change the scenery, here I'm in a hotel room because I've been invited, very excited about it, to present a diabetes reversal program to Charleston, West Virginia. Welcome to my hotel room. Anyway, so the study that I want to talk about today is also very, very simple and powerful, like last week's study. It was done by Singh in 1955. What he did is he took 80 patients and he put them on a diet that consisted of 20 to 30 grams of fat. Okay, that's not much, very low fat. 120 to 150 grams of protein, and the rest were carbs, right? The rest of what they were instructed to eat were carbohydrates, okay? So they were also instructed to eat enough food to not lose weight. This is very important. They were told that they should eat till they are full, okay? So it wasn't a starvation diet. They weren't in a calorie deficit. They were simply allowed to eat as much carbs as they want, while limiting fat to 20 to 30 grams and protein to 120 to 150 grams of protein. Okay, the rest of the calories had to come from carbohydrates. And guess what? In just 3 to 6 weeks, 63% of those diabetics became non-diabetic. You heard right. In just 3 to 6 weeks, 63% of those 80 patients on this very specific diet reversed their diabetes. They no longer needed insulin, and they were no longer diabetic. And what's great also is that 6 of those patients who were insulin dependent, needing anywhere from 80 to 120 units of insulin a day, that's a lot of insulin, they went down to only needing 20 to 40 units of insulin a day in just 6 weeks. Around the same time, another doctor, Walter Kempner of Duke University, created a program that what he became famous for. It was called the rice fruit diet. So his goal was actually to reverse hypertension, right? Which at that time was thought to be incurable, by putting his patients on a diet that consisted of no cholesterol and no salt, right? Things that we know are linked to high blood pressure. And in the process, he had no idea he was reversing diabetes. Because in this diet, what he did is he put his patients on a diet that consisted of white rice, sugar, fruit juice, and fruits. Things that diabetics should never touch, or conventionally speaking, right? White rice, sugar, fruit, and fruit juice is all they were told to eat or drink. And while taking part in this study and eating and drinking these foods, not only were their blood pressures improved, but those who had diabetes, their diabetes was reversed. Why? Because in a low-fat environment, your insulin becomes sensitive to do what it needs to do, accept the sugar and the carbohydrates from your diet and put it into your cells. So a low-fat diet, whether you're diabetic or non-diabetic, because last week we talked about non-diabetics, this week we're talking about diabetics. When you're in a low-fat diet, insulin has the power to do what it needs to do. Insulin resistance is reversed in a low-fat diet, and it's proven time and time again with studies. I have a couple more to share with you. Next week, what I'll do is talk about low-fat diets that were compared to conventional diabetic diets and which ones perform better to improve diabetes health and lower insulin use. You can do it. And it's simple. By lowering the amount of dietary fat in your body and in your daily consumption of food, you will find that your need for insulin will decrease, not in months and years, but in just weeks. I challenge you, okay? And if you have questions about it, you're curious about it, reach out to me. Join my Facebook group, which is going to be in the comments section or the description section of this video. I invite your questions, your comments. Share with me. Join me in this journey to help a world that is suffering from diabetes to come off their medications, reduce their need for insulin, and reverse their diabetes. Again, this is Diabetes 180, and thanks for joining.